Welcome back to the breeding project. In this part we will provide you with an update on day 23 to 30. So this is at 24 days old how the koi look like. They're just all swimming around at the surface, searching for food in the algae, and they seem to be having a good life. So that is all going very well. And I still see the number of Daphnia are increasing. We really have a massive number of Daphnia available. One of the larger baby koi in the pond is now very well feeding on the Daphnia. Well, there is really plenty of Daphnia in the pond, so that wouldn't be a problem. I think it will probably take a while for all the Daphnia to be depleted. And I hope by then most of the small baby koi are a little bit larger, making it possible to even more easily feed them on the surface, maybe even with a small pellet. I've been following this koi for a while. As you can see, he's continuously hunting for small Daphnia. The larger ones are probably still too big for his mouth. So yes, the upcoming days we won't have a problem with depleted Daphnia yet. Only when the largest Daphnia will get eaten, then probably the Daphnia will be depleted quite fast. And well, this baby koi doesn't really seem to have any color. It looks quite grey and a little bit of brown, but I think it most likely looks like a soragoi, which is entirely grey. So let's see how this koi will develop in the next upcoming weeks. I will continue to feed the Artemia replacement for the next couple of days for sure. Probably even for like 2 more weeks. And maybe then also including some bigger pellet. It will probably take a while before the smallest baby koi will be able to eat a small pellet. So I'm making sure that they have plenty of Artemia powder available. What I noticed by now is that when I feed some of the Artemia powder on the surface, that actually most of the koi directly come to the surface. So it only takes a few minutes and then hundreds of baby koi are eating the powder at the surface. So that really looks nice. They're all enjoying their Artemia meal, it seems. And if you thought I was not feeding egg yolk any longer, well, yes I am. Mixing egg yolk with spirulina powder, who knows what it is good for. It will surely feed the Daphnia in the pond as well, and the most tiny koi fry that are still in there. At 26 days old I also noticed this. I think this koi only has one eye, but not completely sure. It's quite small. What do you think? And of course I'm feeding and feeding. More and more food. Spreading it all over the surface so that the baby koi just have to come to the surface. No searching is required, anywhere they go there is some food. And as you can notice, they kind of directly come to the surface. It now only takes a few seconds to see the first koi appear. This one seems to be a kohaku, orange and white. And it looks like an interesting pattern as well. Let's hope this one grows larger quickly so we can admire the pattern. And is this kind of a Tansho kohaku? Looks like some orange is visible right on the head. It took only 1 or 2 minutes and now nearly all of them are at the surface. And as you notice, there are also plenty of these darker black exemplars. And I think that is not strange, because we did breed with a dark black Aragoka. So I think it is quite normal that we have some dark or black koi in this pond. We also have some kind of Shiro Utsuri in here. This koi seems to have a white body with some black over it. But if I look really closely I can also see that it looks like some yellow is visible, so it might even be a Sanka. It is nice to see them all together at the surface. There are really so many of them and they are all different. I do have some doubts though that these will become a really nice offspring. But hey, what could I have expected by crossing a female Aragoka together with male Sanka? I think nobody can really know what to expect if you make that combination. What I did not show you before is that I also prepared a lot of Infusoria for the tiny fry that I have indoors in the ponds. I used it mainly in the beginning. The Infusoria are the really tiny white dots that you can see moving. It is the perfect living food for the first couple of days for your fry. I added this in the early days to the water as well, and you can prepare it very easily by yourself. It only takes about 1 to 2 weeks. What you can do is add some banana or lettuce to a container with water and just let it stay there for 1 or 2 weeks. The most easy way how you can check it is just grab a small jar, fill it with the water out of the container and use a spotlight to see if you can spot them. What I did is I used larger containers of like 90 liters each because I needed the Infusoria in very large amounts. Do you remember I showed you a Sanka before with probably only one eye? We are now at 28 days old and I am now really quite sure that this is the same Sanka that is one-eyed for sure. But it seems to be able to find the Artemia quite well. It doesn't seem to have any problems with eating. So probably this Sanka is going to make it as well. This also seems to be a Sanka, but then only with really a little bit of yellow. You can see it on the head. Furthermore, there is almost no yellow that indicates this Sanka will get more red later on. You might wonder why I still have these brushes in, because they are all fully grown with algae and they really look messy. But I don't really want to take them out at this moment of time, because I do think there is a lot of food in there as well, where the fry can feed themselves on. So if you look like this over the fry pond, then you can see that really everywhere I have little koi fry eating, searching for Artemia powder, and they are all doing quite well. I do still check my water quality quite often, especially ammonia is really important to me. I want to make sure that I maintain levels of 0 all the time. And if I do measure some ammonia, then I make sure that I refresh water instantly. At 28 days old I also spotted this quite interesting looking Sanka. It doesn't have a lot of white it seems, but I do really like the pattern of this koi. Happy to say that all the koi are doing very good at 30 days old. They are really becoming active at the surface. When I feed now, they instantly come and they all splash around and they even make the water move when they are around. So I think they are now actually becoming real koi instead of koi fry. One thing I also noticed is that water snails seems to like Artemia as well. So this one is just eating upside down from the surface of the water and seems to be enjoying it. Actually, it is great to have water snails in your koi fry tank because they really eat a lot of trash that is laying on the bottom of your tank, so they help to keep it clean. At 30 days old we are also even better being able to see some of the first patterns appearing. So what we see here is like a Tansho kohaku. Looks like it only has red visible between the eyes on the head. We seem to have a lot of Sanka that have really a lot of black, so that is actually not that good. In terms of having a Sanka, it should have more white as well, but for own fry it is still quite nice. And this is more like a kohaku again, white and red. And if you remember, this is the soragoi that we have seen before, but it also has some brownish, like chagoi color on the head. This brings us at the end of this episode. I hope you did enjoy the video, and new videos of course will be up quite soon. For now, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.